Buttervision.
And then I finish like, yeah!
Oh yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, you think we can put that in the opening?
No, hell no. Hi, Bama and the Butterverse. Back at you again.
Yeah, boy! All right, yeah. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We hear the seven of you applauding right now.
Our
JD
loyal
Butter,
seven.
Kristi Ard, Bama in the Butterverse, back to do some more Monday morning quarterbacking of the Challenge War of the Worlds 2. And there's a lot to talk about. We got to get right into it. First of all,
A lot to talk about, and then a lot to talk about that happened off of the challenge.
well, that's what we're going to jump right into first, the gossip. All right?
Lots of good gossip.
Hit me with some gossip right now, dadgummit.
So I'm sure you guys follow some of these people. This particular person is not necessarily on the challenge right now, but we've definitely seen him on the challenge and other shows and TV shows. And he just announced today, Corey Wharton, I think that's his last name.
Yes.
Yes. Is having a baby with Taylor.
Taylor Selfridge.
She is so hot though. She is so cute, and he's cute. I mean, I'm sure their baby's gonna be precious. His little girl with Cheyenne is. So
But he
adorable.
already has 2 seeds, man. He's 28, got 2 baby mamas already.
Baby. They said it's a boy.
Dog,
So
put a
he's got
sock
girl
on
and
the
a boy.
pickle, B.
I know that I'll never understand why people don't use birth control, not wear, I guess you can wear it.
It is wearable technology.
Yes, I don't
Which
get
is
it.
very
but
popular with the young
he's
kids.
already got a kid, so whatever.
Yeah, come on, dog.
To the brood. I mean, he's making his money out there.
Dude.
So.
All right. Also, and this is something that I brought up that I gotta talk a little smack about.
He likes it more than me.
Nelson and Angela, Nelson, who is part of Team Young Buck with Corey and Hunter. Nelson and his girlfriend Angela, who has also appeared on the challenge.
Yeah, she did.
They're a couple, and dude, they went on Dr. Phil spilling all their dirty laundry on national television. They're sluts for popularity, man. They're like, dude, come on, you go.
I mean, at least they're going trying to get some therapy,
And they need it, trust me. Like some of the stuff that came out, dude, it was like, all right, y'all need some.
Are either one of them ever really gonna be like that faithful with each other and stuff? I don't know. Are they still together?
Who knows? Because that was like a week ago, so who knows in this world.
Phil.
Another thing I want to talk about, now this is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. If you are a real fan of the challenge and the whole history of the show, we got a big get. We got Julie Peasy and Justin Booth have verbally agreed, we haven't signed contracts yet, but they verbally agreed to appear
That's a verbal agreement.
on our after show season finale. By the way, we're changing the name of the after show. We haven't come up with it yet, but I'm going to refer to it this episode as an after show. Julie Peasy is the president of entertainment and development at Bunim-Murray Entertainment. So I'm sure if you watch this show, you know. Bunim-Murray. You know what? Bunum, Bunum, whatever. And Justin has been the executive producer on about 8 to 10 seasons, including the current season of the challenge.
I recognize his name. That is awesome.
So they're gonna come, and we're gonna have mad questions for him. We're gonna get all the dirt.
Yeah, if y'all have
and
questions, comment the questions.
Put them in the comments and it's gonna be in the season finale. Speaking of that, we're halfway through the season. We've done half the season.
Said that. TJ said halfway mark. I can't believe it.
I know it doesn't seem like it because you seven can't get enough of Kristi Ard and JD Butter, but yeah, halfway mark of the season. I think so far we're kicking ass.
Totally, we are.
I don't know about
the Brits.
Yeah, whatever. We'll get into that in a moment. Another big piece of information I have straight from the news desk.
Oh no.
I started the fatwa. I started the fatwa,
I
but
don't even know this.
yeah, here's what went down though.
gosh.
Now this,
Oh,
I'm about to start a conspiracy theory right now after I take this the straw. You see Kristi with the straw. All right, so I watched this whole AfterBuzz TV challenge thing, and it's long, dude. It's like
It is. It's like an hour long.
it's
long as
dude,
the show.
it's long, and you know it's not horrible. There's some very nice, safe people who have never dealt with the likes of JD Butter, so they don't know what they got coming to them, right? Am I right?
Oh,
am I right or am I right? So I sit through the whole thing, right? And then in the very last minute, he's like, okay, if anyone wants to make a call, reads a number once really quickly, and like I'm like, I missed the number. So then I go back into a previous broadcast, find the number, dial it, can't get through. 2 people call, and then they're like, all right, bye, everyone, bye.
Let me
You know I was mad, dude.
First of all, what I say last week, I'm going to have to take over this.
Maybe.
Second off, let me tell you that they probably have that already set up at the beginning.
That's my conspiracy theory.
I mean, I used to work at TMZ, and that's how they
Oh
did
my
it.
God.
That's how they did it. They have the callers, like, calling in throughout the whole hour, and they set them up.
They
like,
were
have a
ready,
person that sets
and
them
then
up.
I couldn't get
now that you have the number, you can start calling at the beginning of the show.
Yes.
And be like, okay, I want to be in that
But what
last
I
minute
did
or something.
do, ladies and gentlemen, is I still went into some of their shows where, like, people are doing, like, the comments, and I started talking about Bama and the Butterverse.
Yes!
That's just the start.
That's pretty good. That's pretty awesome. We could all comment about Bama and the Butterverse on their show.
Come on.
So go.
Do it.
Do it.
All right, another thing that I should let you in on.
Oh, gosh.
JD Butter has run afoul of the content Nazis at YouTube again. From you may have noticed this, some of you who watched the show, last episode, yesterday was taken down by YouTube.
What?
I can't really get into it here. You're gonna have
I didn't even know this.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tune into the after
They
show to
took
hear
our
the full
stuff
story.
down
They
again?
took it down. They took it down. Now, here's the thing.
Are you sure it's not AfterBuzz?
I don't know.
Turning us in?
I don't know. I don't know.
They're
They
trying to
may
get
have eyes everywhere. You never know. But here's the thing, all right? Here's the thing. I'm gonna get it back up, but we have to keep a good relationship with YouTube. Like, you can only get so
That's
many
right.
strikes. However, I know you people expect JD Butter to always rabble rouse and push the envelope. So I'm gonna go right up to the line, and I'm gonna look, and I'm gonna be like, what's up?
Let's not get us kicked off YouTube, please.
All right.
I'm gonna have to start taking over the channel or something.
All right, let's get into
Let's
tonight's
get
episode.
into the challenge. Let's get into what they really want to hear.
Saving Private Esther.
Love that
the
name.
name of the
Love that
episode.
name. Saving Esther, though, of all things.
It's not a horrible strategy if you're the U.S.
the other team.
Yeah, right, yeah. Like, let's, Now, I mean, I think, and we'll talk about this, the USA went way too far to try and make that happen. Am I right or am I right?
Oh, my God, like ridiculously far.
Dude, I
was so proud of Dee. We'll talk about this
Yes.
later. We got to get into all this later. But
Yeah, but a quick initial observation, and this is key, and because you have mentioned this in the last couple of shows, I can't remember if it was last week or the week before, but remember I said, like, oh, it's cool because, like, people like Johnny and Wes are gone, so other people get to kind of stretch their legs and kind of take leadership roles. I'm starting to feel like maybe that's not as great a thing as I thought it was.
I told you that they're not the master manipulators and like puppet.
Well, but not
puppet
only that.
masters
Here's the thing I've noticed. I feel like the last couple of episodes have been kind of milquetoast, kind of just like. And I think one of the reasons why is they're missing like personalities. Like the guy, like say, just to take Wes and Johnny as examples, these are guys who have been on TV for like 15 years. They know how to be on TV. They know how to be on these shows. They know in a moment they need a zinger or they need a little. They know how to
drama.
Yeah, they know how to do it well. This current iteration, there's less like spunk almost. There's like, I don't know. It's weird. Like the last couple of shows. That's just my one of my initial observations.
For him, underwhelming.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like CT and Zach.
I told you that like the first episode after they were all gone.
Yes.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just, I don't know, it's not the same.
Yeah, I mean, CT and Zach have been pretty good about the little zingers, the little one-liners, but...
Oh my God, they were cracking me up.
They
I have so many like asterisk LOLs like written down.
Yeah, like CT like saying that Kyle had diabetes. Yeah, that was awesome.
That shit was so awesome. I was like, I am using that from now on.
And calling him a salty old man later in the episode, like CT's. But you know, now here's the other thing though, because we were mentioning CT. CT, the complete evolution of CT, it's kind of effing hilarious, okay? Because, so they're coming back right at the beginning of the episode and someone says something about, I'm sad that Bear's gone, and CT goes, well, but the house will be a lot quieter. I'm like, he's like an RA at a dorm now, dude. It's like, what?
He's even worse than that.
I know he's like your fat uncle, or you're right, dude. I'm like, what?
Fat uncles are fine.
Like CT. Like there's a famous episode maybe like 10 seasons ago, and I'm sure you'll remember this, where him and Wes get into it, and he's like, "Who's scared of you now?" And he's railing on Wes. And I've read about this. They only showed like 2 minutes of it. The story, this is a famous challenge story. He railed on Wes from like 2 a.m. to 6 a.m.
I heard about that.
Top of his lungs, screaming crazy, didn't give a shit who, he was waking up and whatever. Now he's like, I'm glad I can finally get some sleep around here.
No.
Like, what?
He's a dad. I mean, he is a little older.
He is.
But it is different.
Well, you got any initial observations?
I mean, not initial observations. I mean, obviously.
All right, well, let me make one more.
Oh, gosh.
I had kind of forgotten how much I detest Cara Maria.
Oh, gosh. How do you forget that?
Because she kind of was like maybe lying in the weeds a little bit. I'm going to pull a fatwa on her and her... I got to be kind. I have to be a kind human being.
Georgia had something good to say about her later on.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to bring that up.
But she's just such a bad person, dude. It's horrible.
It's pretty bad.
So let's get into the show. Oh, and one other thing I want to tell you guys to do and tell you to do, because this is great, kind of going back for a quick second to the evolution of CT. There is an advertisement online for the movie Gemini Man, and CT is in the ad, and they show him... it's like an MTV affiliated ad. So they show him watching scenes from when he was younger on Real World.
Yeah, that's so funny.
And he's just like, oh my God, dude, like look at this guy, I look at him thinking he's such a badass. It's so great. You gotta look this up. Look that up, folks.
That sounds funny.
All right, so let's get into the episode.
Yeah, another episode where, I guess we're just going to get used to this, where there's like a lot of behind the scenes, like a lot of, where they're talking and grouping up and I was kind of surprised to hear about like the U.S. and U.K. alliances that were kind of going on.
Dude, that kind of came out of nowhere a little bit to me.
Right? Where they've got these numbers on both sides now. And that's why they're trying to I
almost can't even keep track. I'm serious, man. I'm like, what the,
It's like Cara says that they've got Dee, Joss, Rogan, Esther, and Kaylee on their side. And then obviously it's Polly, Ashley, Cam, Kaylee, all of them, they were all talking at the beginning. And then that's when Polly said that if they did win, how they were going to do Speaker of the House. And it was going to be Ashley if it was a girl, and Polly, him, if it was a boy. But then turn around, you got Jordan and Josh talking, and then Tori, and they're talking about their alliances, like Georgia, Theo, Jenny, with Nani, and they don't even know about Leroy. He's still out there. Poor Leroy's still out there floating ever since Banana.
The whole thing is a cluster, though.
But, I don't get it. Rogan's talking about that they're trimming the fat. When did they start trimming the fat? They're throwing away their most competitive players. So far,
he's just talking, dude. He's just trying to get screen time. He doesn't have any idea what he's talking about.
Joss, Rogan, and Polly did agree to work together. And then when they were standing in the kitchen, you remember that? They did remember.
I don't trust
And then Idris was standing there. I said, what is Idris even doing there? He's not part of their alliance, and he's just standing there listening. He never has much to.
So let's get into the daily challenge. crate expectations, and of course TJ drops the bizomb that it's a double elimination.
Double elimination.
Now this could be like really like crippling to the UK team that's already down in numbers, and they keep losing. They've literally lost everyone that wasn't thrown by the U.S.
Exactly.
It's a sad state of affairs.
Lost that one.
This
double
was
elimination, one female, one male.
And this was another one of these crazy things that, again, neither of us, and none of you watching, this is like a crazy, like, endurance.
Yeah, and especially like with so it's a giant field, 125 crates, which were, what was it, 25 pounds a piece or something?
Some ridiculous.
I wrote it down somewhere,
and they can,
25 pounds a piece.
They carry
gotta
two
carry
at a time.
125. They can carry max 2, so it's 50 pounds.
They
got to start on one end of the field, then carry the crates and like tower them up to pull off the relics.
Right.
And there was 12 relics that they had to then take to like the finish line or whatever. And then once they got the 12 relics, then they got to take all 125 crates back over the finish line or whatever. What's the deal with the relics? Why are those always a thing? Is that like...
I don't know, but you know,
Sorry.
yeah, no, like, I don't know what the things about the relics, but I do know this. The UK team sucks ass.
Well, dude, and they were like thinking, oh, we got Theo. We got, he's taller. We won't have to stack as many. And it's like, you can't just use one person.
But they have no real strategy. It's like they're just running around.
Their strategy was Theo.
They're running around like chickens with their head. You see it. Like the US team, they always kind of, they're a little bit more organized. They're more athletic. They're just more together. And part of that to me is like literally there's just more of them that have been on more of these shows. Like straight
that's
up.
true. I mean, and it's also like, Jenny said at the end was like, all their U.S. girls are fit. Like, they're all fit and have endurance.
Yeah,
like, we've still got some fat on our team or whatever.
Very true.
I mean, like, basically the U.S. was... like off the jump, they got the first relic off. Zach was killing it jumping those towers.
Yeah, he played well. Zach
was killing it jumping those towers.
One of the few times when he really shines.
Where they're like, okay, throw it to this girl, she'll run it back, and now we got somebody else.
That's what I'm saying. Like they always
and the Brits were literally waiting on Theo to pull off like every relic, and I don't understand that. I mean, by the time. And then it started raining, but by the time By the time the U.S. got. There were all 12 relics plus the 125 crates. The Brits had just finished bringing the 12 relics. They hadn't even started bringing the crates over.
Right.
So
they're embarrassing. So obviously the UK loses again. Now before we get into the aftermath of that, let's take a quick break to hear from our sponsor.
Another sponsor.
We're back. Now, we just talked about the UK losing again.
Again, Georgia's crying.
Oh my God.
Kyle's crying.
Love Georgia crying. Can you imagine?
Get a mascara though.
God. But can you imagine dating a girl that cries as much as Georgia? It's like,
it'd be like dating Josh.
Yeah, sweetie, the store's out of salt and vinegar chips. She's like, I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, it'd be like dating.
Same as a girl dating Josh who's always crying.
Right. So the UK wins, right? Or the UK loses.
Polly does, as they say, Ashley's Speaker of the House. Then she turns around and makes Polly and Cara part of the tribunal.
Okay, hold on. Stop right there.
Oh, God.
You don't think that's not crazy to you?
Of course. I was like, what the hell?
I'm like, what the? Like...
But they just do it. Nobody argues anything, and then it just happens.
That's because everyone is chumps. If I was whatever side of the U.S. alliance I was on for the rest of the season, I would always be trying. The tribunal has to have people from both sides in it. Period. Even it's always going to be uneven, but
like they're not divided or whatever. I mean, we know they are. Yeah. That was one of Zach's good things that he pointed out because he called Polly Napoleon and Cara Medusa because of her hair.
That was a great thing.
He was hysterical last night.
So I mentioned how much of an endurance thing this challenge was, though, and I gotta go and mention my UK whipping boy. I have Josh as my US whipping boy. My UK whipping boy, Idris. Dude. Boxers are known for endurance, mental and physical gifts. I mean, dude, because you got to be willing to get punched in the face like 1,000 times, you know, and just and be like fit to like go 12 rounds or 10 or whatever, right? The fact that this guy, I'm not even saying he should be dominating the competition. I'm saying he should occasionally be showing out, though. Don't you think? Like, occasionally
somebody
he should.
said he was struggling during the thing. I think it was.
He has struggled in everything, dude. I mean, he's no better than Esther as far as I'm concerned. And speaking of Esther,
so she did a noble thing. She said, "I'm going to nominate myself in." It's obvious I'm not the one out of the girls. I'm not the one that has the endurance or the most stamina or the strongest. I'm going to nominate myself in. But of course, the U.S. team is like, "No, we don't want her to go because she's part of our numbers."
Right.
So they send Ninja to do the dirty work of trying to talk Dee into like not nominating her. But Dee's like, I mean, I know that she's numbers, but like we got to win challenges.
Yeah, she's not going to sacrifice like
her entire team,
and even if she wanted that, the whole team has to kind of buy into it too.
Esther's
like,
nominating herself. You can't, like, how do you stop somebody from
right.
themselves?
So for them to like be kind of browbeating Dee like that, to me,
so
that
then
like
after they realize she can't save Esther, they're like, well, you got to save Idris then. You got to at least not have Idris going in there, right? Because they don't want their numbers. And plus, the U.S. wants the weak ones to stay. They want Esther and Idris to be on the team.
Overall, is a good strategy, but you can't.
And that's where Dee showed a little bit of her smarts because she's like, I'm not stupid. Like, I get that we need numbers, but at the same time, my team needs to start winning challenges, or this is going to be over for us. So she's like, I got to trim our fat. Our fat's got to go.
So then we go to the nominations, right? And it's another shit show.
CT, of course, giving the pep talk at the beginning.
That was so like out of left field in a way. I don't even think he believed. But I don't think he really even believes that shit he was talking, dude. It's like, you're just saying, like, because again, did you notice how I don't think there's been a nomination where CT has actually raised his hand?
Yeah, because he definitely didn't last week, I remember. And he didn't have to this week because there was enough people.
Right, but it's like, dude, he is so, like, lying in the weeds. It's ridiculous.
That's why I wanted Kyle to come back. But, of course, Esther nominates herself. Right. And then the boys aren't saying nothing. So then Josh speaks up, says Kyle. And, of course, that gets, like, a whole thing going. Kyle, of course, says... Kyle says Idris, though, right?
Idris should be going in.
Of course.
Period. Idris should be going in. It's ridiculous.
I don't think Kyle's that great, but it's like
he's proven himself. He's
definitely better than Idris.
Idris has done nothing, dude. It's embarrassing because if he is what he says he is, which is a boxer, he should be performing better than this.
So basically, it's Kyle and Esther.
Right.
The UK.
Kyle, of course, acts like a bitch again, dude. And then, dude, I'm sorry. Like, so we go. Then they're at the bar, and Cara Maria and her cult are like, you know, like browbeating Dee, and then Kyle just go like with his like, his big fake ass piano key looking veneers up there smiling and like saying just really jacked up shit to Dee for like basically no reason.
He said you're going to end up brokenhearted, eliminated, and friendless after all of this or whatever. But they did. I mean, they were being ridiculous. Even CT said it. They were ganging up on Dee, it's trying to manipulate her. But she's obviously right. Like, she should have put they should have put Esther in, and then they should have put Idris in too. Screw what the U.S. is telling them to do.
Exactly. And I also think Dee, you know, she ended up getting upset at Ninja, who was sitting there.
As she should have.
Dude.
Because she took up for her big time last season.
Right, dude. I'm like, dude, are you serious?
And then I also thought Ninja's crying was just because she felt guilty because she knew she was wrong.
Yeah.
She knew she was picking her alliance over Dee and and doing what they told her to do. And then she's going to cry, acting like, I'm just being your voice of reason. What voice of reason?
You were just sitting there.
It's not a voice of reason to not put Esther in. The reasonable thing to do is to put Esther in. You're not a voice of reason.
Right. So then...
but that is when, or maybe it wasn't when, but that's when Georgia said Cara's cult.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Which,
I thought that was funny. She said Cara's cult.
I really hope I hope they're not like Cam and Ashley will sell out her cousin in like anyway, so she can't be trusted.
Yeah, we know.
But I don't think I think Cam is working it to her advantage, but if there was a moment where she felt she could step away safely from that, I don't think she's like Cara. I think she's just working the angles right now.
Yeah. Maybe it was mostly Cara. I mean, obviously Cara was the one. Like
so we go to the proving ground, running riot, another big endurance thing, and again, like I don't know about you. I'm not doing that bullshit.
No, we had the relics. It was like these heavy relics that were like
from 10 to like 100 pounds.
Yeah, 10 to 100 pounds, and then they got to bring them back. I didn't realize. I'll say this. So there was an answer key, and then like the poundage sitting there of how the order you had to put them in.
Right.
I didn't realize there was an answer key. I thought they were gonna have to guess how much each thing weighed, and then put it in the right order.
Gotcha,
but they had the answer key, so they knew how much everything weighed and where they're supposed to put it. Obviously, I thought the best strategy before they even did it themselves, I was like, you go for the heaviest. You go for the hardest thing first, get it out of the way, then you have the lightest, and when those people are struggling, and that proved to be the truth. Oh, we forgot to say who they voted in against, Esther and...
Oh, right. Okay, so of course, yeah. I mean, well, I always do that after we explain the game because they actually do that at the proving ground.
Yeah. They do it at the very beginning though, which I don't really know why they do that.
Yeah, I mean, in any case, so the USA continues taking big shots, which I think is a great idea.
I thought who they voted
Theo to go against Kyle, and Georgia to go against Esther.
Yes.
Obviously, we would, I think, have a guess to who we think is the favorite in both of those matchups.
Right. Yeah. No. Totally.
But Esther put up a good fight.
Esther did really good with Georgia.
I mean, if Georgia ended up putting hers in the wrong order, so she had to do some work after she went for a check, and TJ was like, "You got it in the wrong order." But even then,
she would have been like maybe 2 behind. She was like 1 behind once Georgia messed up and had to correct it. She still only had 1 relic that she needed to bring back. That's pretty good for Esther being up against Georgia.
And Kyle took a horrible strategic approach by leaving the 100-pound thing as the last thing to bring home.
At the end of
it. They were both gassed at the end. Even Theo was totally gassed. But Kyle trying to carry this thing, and he's like shaking like a leaf, because he's done, dude.
Because I kept thinking, why not roll it? But the face and everything, it was like
it was just a weird shape through dirt, and
it wouldn't roll. But Theo had it right. And Georgia, I felt like they both kind of did the same thing. They were going for the heavier ones, and Kyle did too.
So Theo wins, and Georgia wins.
Yes.
And I really got to say, again, big up to Georgia. She was out there or not Georgia to Esther. Yeah, really giving it her all. I love it.
They all gave her a great props. Like TJ, everybody was cheering, clapping for her, and she was sweet. She was emotional. She did a very sweet goodbye. Kyle was funny, saying, "I'm not crying because I don't like any of you."
Right.
Begging Theo to switch to the U.S.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Oh gosh.
Forgot about this, man. Yeah. Jumps out of here, Kyle. I was gonna say about Kyle. To me, he regressed as a competitor this season. Because he's performed relatively well, but I was kind of turned off by his general dickitude, his wishy-washiness.
The new hair?
And his, and also really the way he acted at the bar, I was kind of like, okay, Esther.
He was doing that on purpose, though. He was trying to get to her.
Esther gone. And then, let's see, Kyle. Where's that Kyle and his hair plugs?
There he is.
Kyle, bye-bye. So, and I would say to Esther, dude, if you want to come back on the challenge, big up.
Learn how to swim.
Get in shape.
Shape and learn how to swim.
So, MVP and LVP.
So, Theo and Georgia decide to stay.
Right, of course. That was not even...
Which I kind of thought Theo might go, but of course they decided to stay. I thought MVP was Zach. Honestly, I was like,
oh, wow.
Really... I mean, in the challenge, if you're talking about the challenge itself, but I thought Dee holding her on and saying, look, screw y'all. I mean, I thought when all of them were ganging up on her, she did awesome. She didn't cry. She didn't back down. So, but Zach, as far as, the challenge, he did awesome. And then... My
MVP is Georgia, because she obviously won in elimination. Right. But also, I just really like how she handles her... She's never, Remember how Laurel had to, fucking gloat and, it's like Georgia wins. She's like, great effort. She's like, I'm so proud of you. You just did such a great job. To me, that's Now, I don't even...
And she did tell the UK to get out the US's ass. And I agree with that.
Yeah,
like, why are they just following what the US is telling them what to do?
Special mention to Esther, because I thought she was bold and going straight up. It's time for me to prove myself that I belong here or not. And she handled it all with dignity, and I just thought that was cool. My LVP, Kyle, for losing, and again, also just being a kind of just like smarmy, he's
a baby.
Yeah, just like bye-bye, dude. Get out of here, dude. So, final takeaways. What are your final takeaways from this episode?
I mean, the Brits need to get it together. Like, we're saying that every week. I mean, I don't know. Like,
TJ says it, like CT says it.
Like, they definitely need to not necessarily listen to everything the US is telling them. Hopefully, now that they've gotten rid of at least one of their fats. I mean, I don't know that Kyle was their fat. They should have put Idris in. Idris would not have won that elimination, and he would have been gone. So, start being smarter. I don't know.
So, I have a couple final takeaways. First of all, something has to happen. Emerge. Every man for himself. The game is going to change sooner than later because the UK simply is just not good enough for this to stay a team challenge. They'll get picked off, and then it'll be the USA against the USA anyway.
Well, I just wonder what they're going to do too. Like, if you have all these US people and then a small amount of UK, how are they going to get the US down to match the number of people the UK has?
Maybe it doesn't match. Maybe, I mean, who knows?
They'll do a final like that.
Well, I mean, maybe. When there's 10 people left, it becomes every man for himself. Oh. And whichever team the players who win are from, that's how we determine whether it's UK or US that won overall. I'm just saying, I just don't see how the way the UK is performing, they can keep going like this.
They gotta figure something out.
My other final takeaway, and this kind of alludes to something I talked about earlier, and I'm serious as a heart attack about this. You're probably gonna think I'm joking. I really feel like, I mentioned like the evolution of CT, and as I was kind of watching this, I'm serious,
You're on this.
I'm serious. I kind of feel like, because he's been on MTV for probably 15 to 20 years, maybe almost 20, because I think he's like 37, so maybe 15 years, right? And we have literally seen this dude his whole life evolution from complete knucklehead to now he's almost 40, married with a kid, and we've literally watched his personality change on television, and it's not some weird it's not some scripted arc.
Right.
This is, for the most part, even though obviously unscripted television, there's a scriptedness to it, but I think, more so than on a scripted TV show, we have actually been watching an actual man mature and grow and go through all these changes. And so by that token, I'm going to say that when he finally plays his last MTV challenge or whatever it is, I'm going to say that CT is literally one of the most compelling characters ever to be on television. And I'm not shitting.
Oh, I do. I mean, I love him. I love him.
So that's it for me.
That was it.
All right, so next week.
So, I mean, it's obvious that they showed, the next half of the season. It wasn't just one episode. Did you? He didn't even pick up on that.
Okay, I was like, damn.
I was so confused.
I was like, next episode's going to be nuts.
I did have to rewind it a couple of times just to, try to find a few things. I didn't want to get too much because I didn't want to see too much of what was coming up, but there was a lot. I mean, because one thing I noticed was it looked like when Jordan was saying be a tough guy and vote, that the U.S. is finally in that room where they're having to nominate their person.
Wow.
So I think that we're going to get some U.S. losing.
Maybe.
Because then there was another one where that showed me that they might lose again or whatever. Leroy yelling at Nani in the movie.
Oh, right. Well, they didn't show that it was Nani. They that was
That's
editing.
True. That could have been an edit. But it did look like they were in another nomination, and nominating meeting or whatever.
Right.
Dee crying about Rogan using her. Do you think that was editing? Or do you think she was talking about Rogan when she's like, he used me, and then
again, I always assume it's editing when they're showing the whole season.
But I mean, these are things that we got to see.
But the thing that was not editing was we see Turbo Turbo gets riled up again. And,
yes, Turbo gets riled up again.
You know, here's the thing that I like. So, and with literally, there were like 3 to 4 guys minimum holding him back. Here's how you can always tell who's a real fucking badass and who's not. You always see guys like Josh and Jordan being held back just by one homie. Those are the homies that don't want to do nothing. Whenever you see Turbo getting held back, or when you used to see CT getting held back, or Darrell getting held back, it was like at minimum 2 to 3 dudes holding him back. We don't even know what the threshold for holding back a young CT is, because when he almost killed Adam, like,
he couldn't be held back.
There was a house full of dudes who could not hold this cat back. So that's going to be interesting. I want to see Turbo wild out. Of
course, and I think it's going to be Jordan again. And I think somebody might switch. They edited it at least to make it look like somebody might finally switch teams. And then Cara asking Tori if she wants to go to elimination with her, which is pretty bold because Cara's usually so scared of elimination. I'm like, good. Right. She's finally. So it's a lot. Like I said,
we'll see. And one thing I also noticed in there again, dude, CT's belly. My God, dude. Like, I mean, dude, just wear one of those belts around. Why is he not
like training more at least while he's there?
I have
he could
no
be like
idea,
working out
dude.
every day. He could be, and I don't think I see him working out like that. So
anyway, I want to thank our executive producer Lisa Welch, our director and producer Ben Imperato. That is Kristi Yard. I've been JD Butter, and we are out of here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Peace.
Bye, y'all.